you got to allow public input. So we have a petition going to ask the state legislatures, ask the boards, the Association of Township Trustees to pass ordinances in their area or a state law that says if you're having a public meeting, you got to allow for reasonable public comment. And that doesn't seem to be out of the question. And in fact, a couple of state legislators have told us that they're in favor of it and would be willing, once we have our signatures in line, to entertain, to introduce that into the legislature. So, given all that, that's what we've been doing for a couple, 3 years. That's what we plan on keeping on doing. We got some charts over here that you're certainly welcome to take a look at and mark as you see fit. Barb Partington's going to talk about what those are all about. And then I think Dave, are you going to talk for a few minutes? Dave is going to talk. I would note that Napoleon said that an army travels on its stomach. An organization like ours travels on the support of its members. And we appreciate the support to date and look forward to support in the future.
Thanks, Ed. So my little piece is to talk about what you can do. So obviously you've done the first thing by coming to hear what we're doing. And we're sort of traveling around the county trying to get 10 people there, 50 people there, because we've read about us, we've seen signs, but you're not there. So now you know that we're not crazy, we're normal people, we're normal aging activists who are still active. Oh.
Just keep that.
Sorry. Not the right kind of shirt. Yeah, I thought I was loud. Okay, so what you can do is attend meetings in your own townships, as I see a Russell contingent here, so we know you're already doing that. Don't stop attending meetings in your township, even if things are calm, because things are never really calm. Attend the county park board meetings if you can. The next one is April 10th, which is a Monday at 9 in the morning, so that's their new thing for this week. We did, last week, there was a big snowstorm during the park board meeting. And I think, were thrilled that we couldn't get 30 people in the room with the snowstorm, but some of us did come much to their dismay. Read the papers. Tell your friends to read the papers. Buy subscriptions to the Maple Leaf, the Sugar and Valley Times, the Chesterland News. They have been very supportive of getting our information in the papers, so we are trying to kind of push their subscriptions. Write letters. If you have something you want to write about, but you're not sure how to write it, any of us would be glad to help you. We are really good now crafting letters. We write them like day and night in our heads. And we can only publish so many, so we're glad to have other signatures in there, other letters in there as well. Attend the Geauga Park programs. The naturalists are really good. The programs are really good. We don't want to stop going to the parks. We don't want to, the powers that be in the parks think that we want to shut down the parks. That is not what we're trying to do. So going to the programs is good. Going to the programs wearing your button, that's okay too. Don't talk to the naturalists about what we're doing because that puts them in an uncomfortable position, but supporting them by going to the programs is a really good idea. Visit our website, protectgeaugaparks.us, and you're going to pick up literature that you'll have that. And if you sign up to follow the website, you'll get any new postings right into your email box, so you don't have to keep checking. It's a really good website. It also has on it the videos of many of the park board meetings, both Russell and the Geauga County Park Boards on the video menu, so you can actually see what's been happening, and you don't have to take our word for it or the park director's word for it. Those are the actual footage from the meetings. Signing the petitions if you're interested, that's of course okay. We also have signs. You've seen the signs for a few years. They're kind of battered this time of year, and we'll be doing our kind of spring cleanup on them. But they're no charge. If you're willing to put them up in your yard, we're certainly happy. You can take as many as you want. We have 500 of them. And we have two. We have the Take Back the Parks, and then we have the little bit fluffier Preserve, Conserve, Protect if if your edginess factor isn't all the way out there yet. We also will be putting up again this spring 10 of the giant signs. So Jane McCollum was nice enough to host one last year. They're really big. You've probably all seen them. We put those up for 2 or 3 weeks and then move them. So if you live particularly on a main street, they're really nice, and we got a lot of compliments on them, and quite frankly, we got no complaints. So, so apparently people like them. We have pins, take pins to wear, and magnets for the cars. Our promo materials don't do us any good when they're in our attic, so we're happy for everybody to just take and put out, if you will. And follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We actually have a Twitter account with not very many followers, but if we could get more people, we'll put more stuff out on that. And we'll help you do any of those things. So those are the kind of things we can do. Get the word out to your neighbors that, again, that we are serious about this. And really, it was really very concerning when we started with the county park district and then saw the same thing happening in Russell, because it showed that it's a pervasive problem, not an isolated problem. So we want to keep tabs of what's going on. I think Dave has a short thing to say, and then as soon as Dave's done, what we'd like you to do is have coffee and cookies. But we have 4 posters out on the table, and they're the categories that we've been working on to some level with the parks. And what we'd like you to do is put, we're going to give you each 3 green dots, and if you could put your dots where you think is your priority areas are. So can you read? The 3 topics are going to be, are you most interested in transparency? Are you most interested in natural resource and conservation issues? Or are you most interested in political corruption affecting our parks? We're just looking for kind of straw polls each time we meet to see what people are interested in. You can put all 3 dots in the same place, or you can spread them apart. And I will say, I'm going to just make one plug, if anybody would be willing to write letters to the editor. If you got the Voices of Nature this week from the park, the newsletter, you will see that there is an aerial picture of what they're planning at what we call Liability Park, which is High Kaplan, which is actually now called Clarendon Woodlands. We heard at the park board meeting about the rock wall that they're building, 12-foot rock wall, unsupervised, but in the picture also shows the zip line and the ropes course and the BMX bike trail. So if you're concerned about the use of natural resources in the park and are willing to write a letter, go for it. But those are the kind of things we're watching for. We can't always do anything about it. We try to point out to people why it might not be a good idea. And quite frankly, why is a 12-foot wall unsupervised ever a big deal? And why would you buy a rock for the park? That's the part that's really strange. And I just have to say, at the park board meeting, they passed out samples of the color samples, just like you were picking tile for your kitchen. So that was kind of a new all-time low for some of us. So I'm going to let Dave speak. Then we're going to do we're going to do questions and answers first. And so don't get up yet. We don't want you to get up. But before you go, do the dots. Make yourself comfortable, talk to us, and we're glad to have you. And Rosemary, do you have something to say?
Did you say they started the wall already?
They've ordered the wall. It has to be fabricated without a vote, right?
Evidently it was no vote.
No. All right, so Dave, you talk, and then give it back to Kathy, and then we'll go from there. I could talk for a long time. Yeah.
My name is Dave Clark. Thank you for coming. At the beginning of this year, we started a stranger in the night. Okay. At the beginning of this year, we started a legal issues fund, a separate accounting of monies to be used for legal issues. Now, what are legal issues and why do we need them? Why do we need this fund? Okay. What are legal issues and why did we need such a fund? What would we do with this? Well, as you know, we've become more and more assertive in what we're doing with the parks. We have been communicating with the park district via an attorney, actually two separate attorneys, two separate firms, I should say. And one firm doing principally research, and the other firm communicating directly with the park. This interaction costs money, but it's very important because they understand when you do this that you're really serious. You're not just a couple of ecological nuts that are, floating around trying to write letters and cause trouble. You're serious about this and you're looking at things. As you know, especially the Russell folks know that Shelley Chernin is really on top of a lot of stuff and really does a lot of research. She then passes the research along to our law firms and they do even more research and they give us advice How should we proceed? Before we send out letters and things like that, we want to find out whether we're saying the right things, whether we're saying it in the correct way, whether we're saying it in the best possible way, not only for just that moment, but for further down the road. This is only going to get more and more intense as we do it. I anticipate that we'll be sued for something this year. I have no idea what. It's some sort of interference or some sort of, but it will be a bogus, frivolous suit. Now, what those are, they're commonly called slap suits. And the